Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a really practical and important session. We're going to cover email marketing setup, lead nurturing, video marketing strategy, and how to actually implement all of this in a hands-on way. This session is designed to be practical, not just theory. So by the end, you should be able to go and do these things yourself. Let's get started. So here's what we're covering today. First, we're going to set up email marketing, specifically for lead nurturing. Then we'll create pages and flows. After that, we'll touch on the basics of affiliate marketing. And finally, we'll look at how to find internship and job opportunities in the marketing field, both remotely and globally, as well as within Nepal. It's a packed session, so let's move efficiently. Just to quickly recap from the last session, email marketing is about communicating directly with your audience through email. It's one of the most powerful tools in digital marketing because it lets you build relationships over time, drive traffic, collect leads, and ultimately generate sales. And it works whether you're building a personal brand or running a business. Last session, we talked about what it is. Today, we actually set it up. Now, there are actually a lot of email marketing tools out there. You've got MailChimp, ConvertKit, Sendinblue, GetResponse, ActiveCampaign. The list goes on. Each has its own strengths. But for where you are right now, building your personal brand, getting started, Flowdesk is the recommended choice. Why? Because it has great features, it's user-friendly, and it's cost-effective. You don't need to spend a lot of time learning it before you can start using it effectively. So why specifically Flowdesk? 3 main reasons. First, it's cost-effective. You get a lot of value without spending much. Second, it's genuinely user-friendly. Even if you've never used an email marketing tool before, you can figure it out fairly quickly. And third, the features are solid. You get beautiful email templates, automation flows, and analytics. For someone building a personal brand or a small business, this is a really good starting point. That said, always analyze which tool fits your specific niche and business needs before committing. All right, let's talk about actually getting started. The first thing you need to do, if you haven't done it already, is create your Flowdesk account. Go to flowdesk.com, sign up, verify your email, and set up your brand profile. Once you're in, take a moment to explore the dashboard. You'll see sections for forms, flows, emails, and your audience. These are the 4 core areas you'll be working in. This was assigned as homework last session, so if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it today. Now, let's talk about lead nurturing. This is really the heart of email marketing. Think of it like a funnel. At the top, you have leads, people who've given you their email address. In the middle, you have your email flows, a series of emails sent day by day. And at the bottom, you have an engaged audience that trusts you and is ready to take action. Lead nurturing is simply the process of sending the right content at the right time to build that trust. You're not just blasting emails, you're guiding people through a journey. One of the first things you'll create in Flowdesk is a form. A form is how you collect email addresses from people. You can embed it on your website or simply share it as a link on social media. You customize it with your branding, your colors, your message, and then you connect it to an automated flow so that as soon as someone fills it out, they automatically start receiving your email sequence. Think of your form as the entry point to your entire email funnel. Make it compelling. Give people a reason to sign up. Once you have your form, you need to create a flow. A flow is an automated sequence of emails that gets triggered when someone takes an action, like signing up through your form. So on day 1, they get a welcome email. Day 2, they get some valuable content. Day 3, more value. Day 4, maybe a soft promotion, and so on. The beautiful thing about flows is that you set them up once and they run automatically for every single new subscriber. This is what makes email marketing so powerful. It works even when you're not actively doing anything. As you collect leads, you'll want to organize them. In Flowdesk, you do this through your audience section, and specifically through segments. Segmentation means dividing your subscribers into groups based on where they are in their journey: new leads, engaged subscribers, inactive users, and so on. Why does this matter? Because when you send more relevant emails to the right group, you get higher open rates and better results. Don't just dump everyone into one big list. Organize them thoughtfully. Now, let's shift to video marketing, and specifically how it connects to your email marketing strategy. Here's the approach. You create a valuable video, you post it across all your social media platforms, you run a meta ad, that's Facebook and Instagram, for about 10 days, and through that campaign you collect leads. Those leads then go into your Flowdesk audience, where you nurture them with your email flows. Video is the bait, email is the net. Together, they're incredibly powerful. What kind of video should you make? There are a few formats that work really well. Tutorial or how-to videos are great because you're teaching something valuable. People love learning. Behind-the-scenes content builds authenticity and connection. People want to see the real you. And promotional videos help you highlight an offer, a free resource, or a service. For a day-by-day email sequence, you can upload your videos to YouTube as unlisted, meaning they're not publicly searchable, and then send the links day by day through your email flow.
Let's look at a real example. Imagine you're creating a 7-day WordPress website design series. Day 1, you introduce what WordPress is. Day 2, you explain why someone should use it. Day 3, you cover the different types of WordPress sites. Day 4, business use cases. Day 5, personal use. Day 6, how to make money with it. Day 7, a full tutorial. Each of these becomes one video, and each video gets sent as one email in your flow, one per day. By the time someone finishes your 7-day series, they know you, they trust you, and they're much more likely to hire you or buy from you.
Here's why this strategy works so well. Before you even create the content, you survey your audience, find out how many people are actually interested in the topic. Then you build a clear content strategy. You create the videos with a specific goal in mind, not just to get views, but to collect leads and build trust. On the output side, you get leads who are genuinely interested in what you're offering, trust built over multiple email touchpoints, potential YouTube subscribers from people who enjoy your series, and eventually clients who reach out to you for services. This is why the emphasis is always on strategy first. Execution without strategy is just noise. To accelerate your lead collection, you can run a meta ad on Facebook or Instagram for about 10 days. You create a short promotional video about your free series, run the ad, and direct viewers to your sign-up form. With a good strategy, you can collect a meaningful number of leads, even with a small budget. For example, running a 15-day promotion could bring in around 155 leads. Those leads then go straight into your Flowdesk audience and start receiving your automated email flow. The ad does the heavy lifting of reaching new people, and your email flow does the work of nurturing them. Here's a really interesting side benefit of this strategy. When you send your video series via email, you're also driving traffic to your YouTube channel. If you ask viewers to subscribe, which you should do naturally within the videos, a portion of them will. So let's say you have 155 email leads watching your series, and 400 of them subscribe to your YouTube channel. If you were already at 400 subscribers, you'd now only need 600 more to hit 1,000. Your email marketing is literally growing your YouTube channel at the same time. This is the power of personal branding. Everything feeds into everything else. There's an important balance to understand here. Paid ads, like Meta ads, can get you fast reach, but they cost money and they stop the moment your budget runs out. Organic personal branding is slower to build, but it compounds over time and doesn't disappear when you stop paying. The key insight is this: spending money on ads alone is not enough. You need to build an organic foundation through your personal brand first. Once you have that foundation, ads amplify what's already working. Don't rely on one or the other, use both strategically. All right, let's talk about what you should actually do after this session. First, create your Flowdesk account if you haven't already. Second, create a sign-up form. Third, build a simple email campaign and send it to at least 10 to 20 people, even friends or family, just to see how it works. Fourth, try scheduling an email so it goes out at a future time and observe how that process works. Fifth, don't be afraid to use AI tools like ChatGPT to help you write your email copy. And sixth, make sure you fill out the form that was sent to you. The only way to really learn this is to do it yourself and observe what happens. So that's where we are today. In the next session, we're going to go deeper into Flowdesk workflows, really understanding how to build powerful automation sequences. We'll also start looking at affiliate marketing basics, which is another great income stream for digital marketers. Keep practicing what we covered today. Create that account, build that form, send that campaign. Every small action you take is building your foundation. See you in the next session. Picking up right where we left off, let's talk about how the account creation process actually works. There are two straightforward ways to get your account set up. The first is the traditional route. Enter your email address and create a password. The second, and arguably the easier option, is to simply sign in with Google. When you choose the Google sign-in option, the platform recognizes your Google account automatically, and your account is created almost instantly. No extra steps, no fuss. Both methods are completely valid, so go with whichever feels more comfortable to you.
Once your account is created and you log in for the first time, the first thing that greets you is a templates panel. This is just a quick start helper the platform offers. You can simply close or dismiss this panel. It's not something you need to worry about right away. Once it's out of the way, you'll see the actual dashboard underneath, which gives you access to your profile, overview, and settings. Think of the templates panel as a welcome screen that you can skip past.
The first real task inside your account is to activate your profile. Think of this as filling out your identity on the platform. You'll need to provide your email address, your name, which could be your personal name or your business name, and then your handle. Now, the handle is important. It's essentially your unique URL on the platform, similar to how a YouTube channel has its own handle in the web address. So, for example, if your handle is Digital Deal, your profile link will include that. You'll also want to set your time zone. Selecting Kathmandu, for instance, will make sure all your scheduling and analytics reflect the correct local time. Once all of this is filled in, save your profile and you're good to go.
Two more things worth noting about your account setup. First, if you ever need to change or reset your password, that option is available right inside your account settings. It's straightforward and accessible at any time. Second, once your profile is saved, you'll have access to an overview page. This is essentially a summary dashboard that gives you a bird's-eye view of your account activity. It's a good place to check in on what's happening across your account without diving deep into individual sections.
One feature that's available inside the platform is the ability to assign team members and define roles. This is particularly useful if you're running a business or a project where multiple people are working together. You can give different people different levels of access. However, there's an important caveat here. This feature is only available on the premium plan. If you're on the free plan, you won't have access to team member assignment. So keep that in mind if collaboration is something you're planning for. Let's look at the pricing structure briefly. The paid plan gives you some meaningful upgrades over the free tier. Notably, you can manage up to 2,500 subscribers, send unlimited emails, and access email analytics, which lets you see how your emails are performing. The free plan is a great way to get started and learn the platform, but if you're thinking long-term and want to grow your audience seriously, the paid plan is worth considering. The cost per month is reasonable, and the features you unlock, especially analytics and unlimited sending, make a real difference as your list grows. Another powerful feature available in the email setup section is the ability to add a custom domain. What does that mean? Instead of sending emails from a generic address, you can connect your own domain, for example, a .com, a .edu, or a .np domain, so that your emails come from a professional, branded address that matches your business or personal brand. This is a significant credibility booster. When people receive an email from your own domain rather than a generic platform address, it looks far more professional and trustworthy. You configure this directly inside the email setup section of the platform. Now, let's shift to a concept that runs deeper than just platform setup: personal branding. The idea here is powerful. If you build your presence organically, meaning you grow your audience naturally by consistently putting out valuable content, people will start coming to you. They'll ask you to make videos for them, build strategies for their businesses, and consult with them. That's the compounding effect of personal branding. But here's the critical point. You have to start from the very beginning. You can't wait until you feel ready or until you have a large audience. The process of building that brand starts on day one. And consistency over time is what makes it work. For those thinking about monetizing a YouTube channel, here are the two non-negotiable requirements you need to hit. First, you need 1,000 subscribers. Second, and this is the one that takes more time, you need 4,000 watch hours. Watch hours represent the total amount of time people have spent watching your videos. This metric naturally takes longer to accumulate because it depends not just on how many people find your videos, but on how long they actually watch them. The good news is that if you're consistently creating content that people genuinely want to watch, both of these numbers will grow together. It takes effort, but it's absolutely achievable. Continuing from where we left off, let's talk about custom domain setup. Inside the platform settings, you have the option to add a custom domain. Now, what exactly is a custom domain? It's the part of your email address that comes after the @ symbol. So instead of a generic Gmail or Yahoo address, you get something like name@yourbrand.com, or name@yourbrand.edu, or name@yourbrand.np. That branded email address is what you configure right here in the settings. The instructor demonstrates creating one, for example, an email going out from a digital branded domain. And once it's set up, you can verify it directly in the platform. It's a straightforward process, and it gives your outreach a much more professional appearance. So why does this matter? When someone receives an email from a generic address like Gmail or Yahoo, it immediately signals that the sender isn't operating at a professional level.
But when your email comes from your own branded domain, something like hello@digitalmission.com, it builds trust and credibility with your audience. The platform makes this easy. Under the settings, there's a dedicated domain setup option where you can configure everything. And once your domain is connected, every email you send carries that professional identity.
Moving into branding settings, this is where you make the platform feel like yours. The first thing you can do is upload your logo. If you're running a company, use your company logo. If you're operating as an individual or personal brand, you can even use your own photo, and that works just as well. The instructor points out one practical tip here. Before you upload any image, rename the file to something meaningful. This makes it much easier to find and manage later. It sounds like a small thing, but when you're managing multiple assets, good file naming saves a lot of confusion.
Next up in branding, colors and fonts. For colors, you simply enter your brand's hex color code into the color field. So if your brand uses a specific shade of green or blue or any other color, you find that hex code and paste it right in. This ensures every email you send visually matches your brand identity. For fonts, the platform gives you a built-in selection, and importantly, it includes Nepali fonts as well, which is a significant advantage since this is a software built in Nepal. You can browse options like Preeti and others. But if you want something specific, say Roboto from Google Fonts, you can download it from Google Fonts, extract the zip file, and upload the TTF or OTF font file directly into the platform. The instructor walks through this process step by step. Let's break down the custom font upload process clearly, because the instructor goes through it in detail. First, head over to Google Fonts and search for the font you want, for example, Roboto. Download it, and it will come as a zip file. Extract that zip file, and inside you'll find the actual font files. Look for the ones with a .ttf or .otf extension. Those are the files you need. Then go back to the platform, navigate to the font settings, click Add Font or Upload, and select that TTF or OTF file. Once uploaded, your custom font is available to use across all your emails. The instructor demonstrates this with Roboto and confirms it works smoothly. Here's something many beginners overlook: your company details and address. In the settings, there's a section where you fill in your company name, address, and website. The instructor shows a real example, a YouTube congratulations email. You've reached X views or X subscribers, and points out that even YouTube includes a physical address in the footer of every email they send. This isn't just good practice, it's actually a rule. Every legitimate email marketing platform requires you to include a physical address and an unsubscribe link in your emails, so fill in your company details accurately. If you're a personal brand, use your own address. This information appears automatically in the footer of every email you send.
The platform also lets you connect all your social media profiles. There are fields for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, GitHub, and even your website. The process is simple. Go to each platform, copy your profile URL, and paste it into the corresponding field here. The instructor demonstrates this with Facebook. Go to your Facebook page, copy the URL from the address bar, come back to the settings, and paste it in. Do the same for Instagram, YouTube, and any other platform you're active on. Why does this matter? Because these links appear in every email you send, which means every email you send is also creating backlinks to your social profiles and driving traffic across your platforms.
Now here's a key insight the instructor shares, and it's worth paying close attention to. He opens his own inbox and pulls up emails from Neil Patel, a well-known digital marketer, and he points out something important. Every single email from Neil Patel has the exact same format. Same layout, same font, same structure, every time. That consistency is not an accident. It's a deliberate branding strategy. When your audience sees that familiar format, they immediately recognize it's from you, even before they read the sender name. This is what the branding settings you've been configuring actually produce. Your logo, your colors, your fonts, your footer details, all of it combines to create that consistent, professional template that goes out with every single email you send.
There's also a checkout setup section in the settings, and this is specifically relevant if you're selling products or services. This is where you configure transactional emails that are automatically triggered by a user action. The most common example is an order confirmation receipt. When someone makes a purchase, they automatically receive a confirmation email. The instructor references this as something covered in the email marketing section previously. You set it up once, and from that point on, every transaction automatically generates a professional confirmation email to the buyer. No manual work required.
Under Data and Privacy, the platform provides a pre-built terms and conditions and privacy policy template.
The instructor's advice here is clear. Don't try to rewrite this from scratch. The template is already structured correctly for legal compliance. All you need to do is update the date, make minor adjustments to match your specific business requirements, and save it. This document is important because it legally represents your policies to your subscribers. Every email marketing platform requires this, and having it properly configured protects both you and your audience. The integration section is where the platform really opens up. You can connect it to a wide range of external tools. The instructor specifically mentions WordPress. If you have a WordPress website, you can search for it in the integrations panel and connect it directly. WordPress post-integration works seamlessly. Beyond WordPress, you can connect Google Sheets, Canva, Elementor, and many other platforms. For more advanced connections, there's an API key option. You generate an API key from within the platform and use it to connect any external tool that supports API integration. This is labeled as a premium feature, but it gives you enormous flexibility. There's also a built-in referral and affiliate program found under the Share Plan Links or Float Links option. The concept is simple. The platform gives you a unique referral link. You share that link with friends or your audience. When someone signs up through your link, both you and the person who signed up receive a benefit. It's a classic refer and earn model. The instructor notes this is essentially an affiliate marketing system built right into the platform. To receive payouts, you add your PayPal email address in the affiliate settings, and earnings are credited there. There's also a success kit you can download, which contains all the terms, conditions, and guidelines for the affiliate program. Let's talk about the thank you page. This is the final step in your subscriber flow. When someone subscribes to your list, they go through 3 stages. First, they see your landing page. Second, they fill out and submit your sign-up form. And third, they land on your thank you page. This thank you page is your first real impression after someone commits to joining your list. The instructor shows how to edit it. You can add a personalized message like, "Hi, thank you for subscribing." Include your social media links, and adjust the layout, padding, and font blocks. Everything you configured in branding, your logo, colors, social links, automatically appears here, keeping everything consistent. Before you start creating emails, it's good practice to organize them using folders. The platform has a My Email section and a My Folders section. You can create folders to group related email campaigns together. The instructor creates an example folder called 7-Day AI Content Creation Class, so all emails related to that specific campaign live in one place. As your email marketing grows and you're running multiple campaigns simultaneously, this folder structure becomes essential for staying organized. It's a small setup step, but it saves a lot of time later. Now we get to the exciting part, actually creating your first email. The platform offers several pre-built templates: welcome, money, say thank you, inspire, and plain text. The instructor deliberately chooses to start with plain text, and for good reason. Learning from the most basic format teaches you the core structure of email marketing without the distraction of complex design elements. Once you understand the fundamentals, you can apply them to any template. And here's the powerful thing to remember. The email you create here, one single email, can be sent to 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, even 20,000 subscribers all at once in that same consistent format, just like Neil Patel does with his audience. Shifting gears slightly, the instructor also covers YouTube monetization requirements. To qualify for the YouTube Partner Program, you need 2 things: 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Now, the watch hours part is what most people struggle with because it requires people to actually spend time watching your content. But the instructor is confident and says with a guarantee that if you go in with the right motivation and strategy, you can complete both requirements within 30 days. The key advice here is don't obsess over the subscriber count. Focus your energy on the watch hours because that's the harder metric to hit, and the subscribers will come naturally as your content gets more visibility. The instructor also highlights an important opportunity that many people in Nepal aren't fully aware of yet: Facebook monetization. Facebook monetization is now available in Nepal, and the instructor mentions that he personally runs 4 to 5 Facebook pages that are already monetized and generating earnings. This is a significant point because it means content creators in Nepal don't have to rely solely on YouTube. You can be building your YouTube channel toward monetization while simultaneously running monetized Facebook pages. Diversifying across platforms means multiple income streams from your content creation efforts, and that's a much stronger position to be in.
Picking up right where we left off, when you open the template section, you'll notice several pre-built options like welcome, money, thank you, and others. But the instructor specifically recommends starting from the plain text option. The reason is simple. It gives you a clean slate, and you learn how everything is built from the ground up rather than inheriting someone else's design choices.
Once you're in the plain text section, the instructor picks a template called Simple and clicks on it. This loads a basic template into the editor. The key point here is that you don't keep the default content. You're going to wipe it clean and build your own version from scratch. So the first thing you do after selecting the template is remove everything that's already there. To clear out all the default content, the instructor uses a simple keyboard shortcut. Control-A to select everything, then Delete to remove it all. This works from any point in the editor. Once you've done that, you have a completely empty canvas, and that's exactly where you want to be before you start building your own email template. When you click the plus button inside the editor, you get options to add different types of content blocks. The two main ones are layout and text. A layout block adds structural columns and rows, useful for more complex designs. A text block simply adds a plain text area. The instructor chooses the text block first, because the goal right now is to build a simple, clean email template, not a complex multi-column design. Once you have your text block, you can paste in your pre-written email content. The instructor copies his own template text and pastes it directly into the block. However, pasted content often loses its formatting. The alignment might be off, the font might look wrong. So after pasting, you select all the text with Control-A, go to Alignment Options, and set it to Left Align. This fixes the formatting and makes the email look clean and readable. Adding links inside your email is straightforward. You highlight the text you want to turn into a link, for example, a phrase like part of this journey, and then click the link icon in the toolbar. A dialog box appears where you paste your URL. The instructor demonstrates this by linking his community group page and his Facebook page inside the email body. He also notes that depending on where you place the link in the template, it may appear slightly differently to the reader, but the functionality is the same. This is one of the most powerful personalization features in email marketing. Instead of writing a generic greeting like "Hi there," you can make every email feel personal by automatically inserting each subscriber's first name. To do this, you press Shift and the @ symbol together. That opens a drop-down menu. From there, you click on First Name, and a merge tag is inserted. When the email is sent, every single subscriber sees their own name in the greeting. So one person sees "Hi Bashal," another sees "Hi Rohan," and so on, all from the same email template. Here's what personalization looks like in practice. The instructor gives the example of how Neil Patel's emails work. They address you directly by name in the subject or greeting. Using the first name merge tag, your single email template automatically generates a personalized greeting for every subscriber on your list. Whether the email is opened or not, the name appears in the preview. This small touch significantly increases the feeling of connection and can improve open rates. After your main email content, you'll want to add a signature at the bottom. In the editor, you scroll down to the font or layout section and choose a signature style. The instructor picks one that fits his brand, Digital Bashal. He points out that adding a signature is optional, but it does make your emails look more professional and trustworthy. It's a small detail that adds credibility, especially when you're building a brand or community. When you work with templates, the editor sometimes automatically adds sections you didn't ask for, extra footers, placeholder blocks, or default content areas. The instructor points this out and simply clicks the Delete button on those unwanted sections to remove them. It's a good habit to always review your email layout before finalizing it and remove anything that doesn't belong. Keep your email clean and focused. Once your content and structure are in place, you can customize the colors. The instructor encourages experimenting with color combinations that match your brand identity. He uses Instagram as an example. Their color scheme is recognizable and consistent. In the editor, you can change the background color, text color, button colors, and more. You can also adjust padding and spacing to control how much breathing room each section has. Take your time with this. Visual consistency builds trust with your audience. Once your email design is complete, you move through the final setup steps. First, you choose your audience. Who is this email going to? Even if you haven't built a full audience list yet, you can create one directly from the screen. Then you confirm the from name, the name subscribers will see as the sender, like Digital Bashal Hub. Finally, you click Continue and set your subject line and preview text. The subject line is the bold headline your subscriber sees in their inbox. It's the first thing that determines whether they open your email or not. The preview text, also called the pre-header, is the short snippet of text that appears right after the subject line in the inbox view. Together, these two elements are your email's first impression. The instructor uses an example from a content creator he follows. This is what SEO looks like as a subject line, with a compelling preview text that draws you in. Keep both concise, relevant, and curiosity-inducing. As you finalize your email campaign, you'll encounter the concept of audience segments. A segment is a specific subset of your subscriber list. For example, new subscribers, highly engaged readers, or people who haven't opened your emails in a while. Segmentation is important because it lets you send the right message to the right group of people. The instructor emphasizes that understanding segments is essential. It's not just about blasting one email to everyone, but being strategic about who receives what content.
Shifting now to a broader strategic point, Facebook monetization is a real and growing opportunity, even in Nepal. The instructor shares from personal experience. He runs 4 to 5 Facebook pages that are actively monetized, meaning he earns income directly from Facebook. He also has a YouTube channel. But the key message here isn't about how much he earns, it's about the strategy he's sharing with students.
The instructor wraps up with a powerful strategic reminder. Everything covered in this course, integrated digital marketing, email marketing, SEO, content creation, social media, all of it works together, but only if you focus. The advice is clear. Pick one topic, pick one type of content, and apply every skill you've learned to that one thing, step by step. Spreading yourself thin across too many topics is the most common mistake beginners make. Depth beats breadth when you're starting out.
The instructor ends with a practical action step. Take everything you've learned and make a list. Write down specifically what you can do. Not what you want to do someday, but what you actually feel confident doing right now. Can you write an email sequence? Can you design a template? Can you create Facebook content? List it all out. This inventory of your own skills is the starting point for building your digital marketing strategy. Once you know what you have, you can figure out how to put it all together.
Now we move into one of the most important concepts in email marketing, audience segmentation. The core question here is simple. Who are you actually sending your emails to? Before you can send anything, you need to figure out whether you already have a list of contacts or whether you're starting from scratch. This decision shapes everything about how you set up your campaign.
The very first thing you need to ask yourself is, do I have data? Do I already have a list of email addresses? If you don't have any data yet, you can still add contacts manually, entering each email address one at a time. But if you do have a list, say from a form people filled out, then you can take a much more efficient route and upload that data as a file. The instructor walks through both paths here, but strongly recommends the file upload approach for anything beyond a handful of contacts.
If you choose to go the manual route, the platform lets you create a new segment by giving it a name and then adding individual email addresses one at a time. You type in an email, hit add, and it gets added to your list. You can keep doing this for as many contacts as you want. Now, technically this works, but as the instructor points out, if you have dozens or hundreds of contacts, doing this manually becomes incredibly tedious. There's a much better way. The instructor's strong recommendation is this. Instead of adding contacts manually, always prepare a CSV file. A CSV, or comma-separated values file, is a simple spreadsheet format that lets you store a list of email addresses and names in a structured way. When you upload this file to the platform, it can import all your contacts at once, saving you enormous amounts of time. And the platform even handles duplicate entries automatically, so you don't have to worry about the same person being added twice.
So where does the CSV file come from in a real-world scenario? The instructor gives a very practical example. He had previously shared a form with his group, asking people to submit their email addresses. All those form responses were collected automatically in one place. Now, instead of copying and pasting each email manually, he simply exports the form responses as a CSV file. This is a workflow you'll use constantly in digital marketing. Collect data through a form, export it, and import it into your email tool.
Let's walk through the exact steps the instructor demonstrates. First, you go to your form responses, wherever they're stored. Then you download them as a CSV file. Sometimes the downloaded file comes in a zip format, which means it's compressed. You'll need to extract or unzip it first before you can use it. Once you have the actual CSV file, you go to your email marketing platform, navigate to the audience or contact section, and choose the option to upload a CSV. You select your file, and the platform does the rest.
Once the upload is complete, the platform analyzes the file, removes any duplicates, and creates your segment. In the instructor's live demonstration, he uploaded a CSV containing responses from 14 people who had filled out his form. After the upload finished, all 14 contacts appeared in the newly created segment, ready to receive emails. The platform even shows you a summary so you can verify everything looks correct before moving forward. One small but important detail, when you create a segment, you must give it a meaningful name. The instructor names his segment after the group it represents. This might seem trivial, but as your contact lists grow, having clearly named segments becomes essential. You might have one segment for newsletter subscribers, another for people who attended a specific workshop, and another for leads generated from a Facebook ad. Good naming keeps your marketing organized and targeted.
Once your segment is set up and your email is ready, the platform gives you two sending options. You can send the email immediately, right now, to everyone in that segment, or you can schedule it for a later date and time. Scheduling is incredibly useful in real marketing workflows because it lets you plan your campaigns in advance and deliver them at the optimal time for your audience without having to be at your computer at that exact moment.
Now, stepping back from the mechanics of email marketing, the instructor makes an important broader point about integrated digital marketing. Digital marketing isn't just one thing. It's a collection of channels and strategies that work together. You have email marketing, video content on YouTube, search engine optimization, social media marketing, paid ads on Google and Facebook, and content marketing. The key insight is that these channels don't exist in isolation. They're most powerful when integrated into a unified strategy. The instructor gives a very practical piece of advice here. Don't try to do everything at once. Instead, sit down and make a list of which digital marketing channels actually appeal to you and align with your goals. Do you enjoy writing? Email marketing or content marketing might be your path. Do you prefer being on camera? YouTube could be your focus. Do you want quick results and have a budget? Paid advertising on Google or Facebook might be the answer. Do you want sustainable long-term growth without spending on ads? Then SEO or organic social media is worth investing in. The instructor makes a really important point about motivation and consistency. When you try to do everything, jumping between email, social media, ads, SEO, YouTube, without a clear plan, it becomes overwhelming and you lose momentum. But when you pick your channels deliberately, build a system around them, and follow a clear strategy, something powerful happens. You become self-motivated. You can see your progress, you know what to do next, and you don't need someone else to push you forward. That's the real value of having a strategy. The instructor wraps up this section by pointing to two more powerful tools available in most email marketing platforms: forms and workflows. Forms allow you to collect data directly from your audience. Email addresses, names, preferences, survey responses. You can embed these forms on your website or share them as links. Workflows, on the other hand, let you automate what happens after someone fills out a form. For example, the moment someone submits their email through your form, a workflow can automatically add them to a segment and send them a welcome email, all without you lifting a finger.
So at this point in the workflow, the audience list is ready. 14 contacts have been confirmed. Once you click Continue, the Send Options panel appears. Now here you have two choices. You can either send the email immediately by clicking Send Now, or you can schedule it for a future date and time. For example, if you want to send it on the 24th, you click on the 24th on the calendar, then choose what time you want it to go out. But if you want it delivered right away, you just click Now and it goes out immediately to all 14 contacts. After sending, you click View Progress to monitor how the campaign is performing.
Once the email is sent, the View Progress panel gives you a detailed breakdown of your campaign's performance. You can see exactly how many of those 14 contacts opened the email, how many clicked on any links inside the email, and even which devices they used to open it, whether it was a phone, tablet, or desktop. You can also see geographic data showing where your contacts were when they opened the email. This kind of analytics is incredibly valuable because it tells you what's working and what isn't in your email campaigns.
Now let's move into another important feature, forms. When you click on the Forms section in the tool, you get the ability to create forms for a variety of purposes. You can create a form for a link in bio page, a pop-up that appears on a website, an inline or full-page form, or even forms tied to video content or countdown timers. These forms can be placed on your website, shared on Facebook, or embedded anywhere you want to collect leads. It's a very flexible system for capturing audience information.
Here's a really practical workflow for creating your form content quickly. On Windows, you press the Windows key plus Shift plus S to open the snipping tool. You use it to capture whatever you need, maybe your form layout or some reference text. Then you copy that, open ChatGPT, and paste it in. You give ChatGPT a simple prompt. For example, you're collecting data for a 7-day WordPress website design training class, and you want a title and description. ChatGPT then analyzes your input and generates a complete title, subtitle, and high-converting description for your form. This saves a huge amount of time and gives you professional quality copy instantly.
When actually building the form, you start by pasting in the AI-generated title and description. The title might be something like 7-Day WordPress Website Design Training Free Live, and the description is the high-converting copy ChatGPT provided. For fields, you want to keep it simple: name, email, and optionally a WhatsApp number field. You can mark name and email as required, which means only people who are genuinely interested will fill it out, giving you higher quality leads. The WhatsApp number is optional, so it doesn't create friction. You can drag fields to reorder them, and you should remove any unnecessary default fields to keep the form clean and focused. After setting up the form fields, you also want to configure the thank you page, what the user sees after they submit the form. A simple message like "Thank you for joining" works well. You can also add a redirect link here if you want to send users to another page, like a sales page or a video. In the additional settings, you can remove social media icons if they're not relevant, add your logo at the top of the form, and if you're on a premium plan, you can connect your Meta or Google Pixel for retargeting. You can also edit the form's URL to make it more branded. Once everything looks good, set the form status to active, and it's ready to share.
Once your form is live, you share the link with your audience. In this example, the form link is shared directly in the group chat so that both live session attendees and people watching the recorded version can fill it out. The response window is set to 1 week. The goal is to collect enough responses. If 70 or more people fill it out, the training moves forward. You can also embed the form on a website, use it as a link in bio, or share it on Facebook. All responses are tracked in real time in your dashboard, so you always know exactly how many people have signed up.
The last step in setting up your form is editing the link to make it clean and branded. Instead of a random string of characters, you change it to something descriptive, like 7 Days WordPress Website Design Training. This makes the link look professional and trustworthy when you share it. Then you set the form status to active, and your form is fully live and ready to collect responses. Before you share it, run through the final checklist. Make sure the title and description are in place, the required fields are set, the optional fields are added, the thank you page is configured, and the link is clean. Once all of that is done, your form is ready to go. So once you hit that send button, the email goes out immediately to all your recipients. In this example, 14 people. But the real power of email marketing isn't just sending, it's knowing what happens after. That's where the View Progress feature comes in. When you click on it, you can see exactly how many people opened your email, how many clicked on the links inside, which devices they used to view it, and even where in the world they were located. This is your window into how well your campaign is actually performing. To access these analytics, you go into your email platform and click on the specific campaign you want to review. From the campaign list, you can click into any individual send and see a full breakdown. You'll see how many were delivered, how many were opened, and how many people actually clicked a link inside. In this particular example, 14 people received the email. 1 person opened it, but nobody clicked any links yet. That's completely normal early on, and this data helps you understand what to improve next time. Let's go through everything you can actually monitor from the analytics dashboard. First, you see how many emails were sent and how many were successfully delivered. Then you get open data, both unique opens and total opens, since 1 person might open the same email multiple times. You can see click data, who clicked and which links they clicked. You can see which devices people used, mobile, desktop, or tablet. You can even see geographic location. And critically, you can track bounces, emails that didn't reach the inbox, as well as unsubscribes and people who marked your email as spam. All of this data is available in one place. One important distinction to understand is the difference between unique and total engagement metrics. Unique opens count each subscriber only once, so if 10 different people opened your email, that's 10 unique opens. Total opens, on the other hand, count every single time the email was opened. So if 1 person opened it 5 times, that counts as 5 total opens. The same logic applies to clicks. Unique tells you how many individual people engaged, while total tells you how deeply they engaged. Both numbers matter for understanding your audience's behavior. Now, a very common question that comes up is, why did the email arrive in the Promotions tab, or even in spam, instead of the primary inbox? This happens because when you send through a third-party email marketing platform like Flowdesk, the email client, like Gmail, recognizes it as a marketing email and automatically sorts it. This is completely normal. The fix is simple. The recipient can right-click and select Report as Not Spam, or they can drag and drop the email from the Promotions tab directly into their primary inbox. Once they do that, future emails from you are more likely to land in the right place. Another thing that came up during this session is the Sent Via or Made By label that appears in the email header. When you're on the free plan and haven't configured your own domain, the email might show something like Flowdesk Team or via flowdesk.com instead of your own brand name. This can look unprofessional and may reduce trust with your recipients. The solution is to configure your own custom domain within the platform settings. Once you connect your domain, all of that third-party branding disappears, and your emails show your own name and brand, which is far more professional and builds credibility with your audience. Here's the exciting part about building this system. Once you've set up your email campaign correctly, the template, the content, the form, you don't need to rebuild it every time. The same email you sent to 14 people today can be sent to 1,000, 10,000, or even 20,000 people tomorrow. Your capacity to scale depends on how many subscribers you collect, but the process is identical. This is the real power of email marketing. It scales with you without requiring proportionally more effort.
Email marketing isn't just for large companies. It applies to a huge range of situations. If you're a course creator, you can survey your audience to see who's interested in your topic, collect their emails, and then send them course details. If you run a business, you can send different emails before someone becomes a client versus after, nurturing the relationship at every stage. You can also use email for festival and relationship marketing, sending a thoughtful message or even a small gift to your loyal clients on special occasions. This kind of personal touch builds long-term loyalty. And of course, you can use lead magnets, offering a free PDF or ebook in exchange for someone's email address, which is one of the most effective ways to grow your list.
Here's a concrete, actionable strategy you can implement right now. Pick up your phone or camera, sit in front of it, and introduce yourself. Say something like, "Hi everyone, my name is your name, and I want to share something about digital marketing." Then mention that you've prepared a PDF or ebook on the topic, and that anyone who wants it can either message you directly with their WhatsApp number or fill out a form you've linked in the description. When they fill out that form, you automatically send them the PDF via email. This is called a lead magnet. You're offering genuine value in exchange for their contact information. It's one of the most widely used and effective email list building strategies out there.
When creating content for lead generation, there's a simple formula to keep in mind, and it starts with the hook. The hook is what grabs someone's attention in the first few seconds. Then you deliver real value, something they actually want, like a useful PDF, a tip, or a resource. And finally, you give them a clear call to action. Tell them exactly what to do next. Fill out this form, message me here, click this link. One critical piece of advice here, always be genuine. Don't go out and randomly collect email addresses from the market. Build your list organically from people who actually want to hear from you. That's what makes email marketing effective long-term. Now let's shift to the visual side of things, designing the landing page for your email form. Inside the platform, you can edit the link and customize the form's appearance. In this example, the form is titled 7 Days WordPress Website Design Training. You can set the title, add a logo, and preview exactly how it will look to someone who clicks your link. The key here is to make it look clean and professional, because this is the first impression someone gets before they decide whether to give you their email address. To make your form look great, you can use Canva to design a custom image. Here's the process step by step. Open Canva, go to Design, and click Custom to set your own dimensions, in this case 700 by 700 pixels. Add your title text, something like 7 Days WordPress Website Design Training, and choose a clean font like Roboto. Then go to the Photos section and search for free images on Pixabay, which is integrated into Canva. Search for WordPress, pick an image you like, and add it to your design. You can also add a logo. Use the Layers panel to position everything properly, so nothing overlaps awkwardly. Once you're happy with the design, download it and upload it directly to your form. Take your time with the design. A polished image makes a real difference. One thing worth knowing about Canva is that it updates very frequently, and some tools move around or get shifted between the free and premium tiers. For example, Magic Media, which includes AI-powered tools like background generators and image removers, might not be visible in the main sidebar. If you can't find it, look inside the Apps section, sometimes labeled with a P icon. Click there, and you'll find Magic Media and other AI tools. The broader point here is that AI is changing design tools at a rapid pace, so staying updated with what's available, especially in tools like Canva, is part of being a modern digital marketer. Once your Canva design is ready, download it and head back to your email platform's form editor. Upload the image from your computer. It will appear as the visual header of your form. Then fill in the title and write a compelling description. A useful trick here, use an AI tool to generate your description. Give it a prompt like, "Write me a killer description," and make sure to mention it's free. The word free is powerful. People respond to it immediately. Once your title, image, and description are all in place, preview the form to see exactly how it looks, and then share the link. That link is what you'll put in your video descriptions, social media posts, or send directly to people.
As people start filling out your form, they don't just get added to a general list, they get added to a specific segment. In this example, anyone who fills out the 7 Days WordPress Website Design Training form automatically joins that segment in your audience. This is called segmentation, and it's incredibly powerful. It means you can send targeted emails to exactly the right group of people. Someone who signed up for WordPress training gets WordPress content. Someone who signed up for a digital marketing guide gets marketing content. The right message to the right person at the right time. That's what segmentation enables. Now that the form and email campaign are set up, the next logical step is automation, specifically workflows. A workflow is an automated sequence of emails that gets triggered by a subscriber's action. For example, when someone fills out your form, they automatically receive a welcome email. A few days later, they get a follow-up, then maybe an offer. All of this happens without you manually sending anything. This is what makes email marketing truly scalable. The workflow section will be covered in the next session, along with landing pages, so make sure you've practiced everything covered so far before moving on. To put everything in perspective, here's where things stand. In this session, the group covered email account creation, launching a campaign, building a form, understanding analytics, and designing visuals with Canva. That's a solid foundation. Coming up in the next sessions, workflows and automation, landing pages, affiliate marketing, lead generation strategies, freelancing, and finally, building a complete real-world business strategy framework from scratch. Each of these builds on what's been covered so far, so the advice is clear. Go back, practice what you've learned today, and come back ready to go deeper. Now, let's talk about the content creation formula. And this is something that applies whether you're making videos, writing blog posts, or crafting any kind of content for your audience. Think of it as a simple, repeatable structure that you can use every single time. There are 5 key steps. First, you start with a hook, something that grabs attention right away. Then you give a short, simple introduction. Nothing too long, just enough to set the stage. After that, you address the pain point. What is your audience struggling with? What problem are they facing? Then you offer a solution, just enough to show them there's a way out. And finally, you create urgency and close with a call to action. This formula works across formats, and once you internalize it, content creation becomes much more systematic. Let's zoom in to the first step, the hook. This is arguably the most critical part of any piece of content. If your hook doesn't work, people scroll past, click away, or stop reading. The hook has one job: make the audience feel like they absolutely cannot stop here. Compare these 2 examples. A weak hook says, "Today I will talk about Wi-Fi security." Boring, right? Nobody feels compelled to keep watching. But a strong hook says, "My bank account got hacked because I used free Wi-Fi at a restaurant." Now that's a different story. That one sentence creates immediate curiosity, a little fear, and a strong desire to know what happened next. That emotional pull is exactly what a good hook does. Here's a concrete example of how to build a story-based hook. The instructor walks through this step by step. You start by setting the scene with specific, real details. Instead of saying, "I was somewhere," you say, "I was walking through the lanes of Bhubaneswar." That specificity makes it feel real. Then you describe the event. You spotted a small hotel, ordered chow mein, and connected to their free Wi-Fi. Very ordinary, very relatable. And then comes the hook moment. Within minutes, your bank account was hacked. That's the line that stops everything. Notice how the story uses a real place name, a real action, and a real consequence. This is what makes the audience trust the story and feel connected to it. They think that could happen to me too. Once you've hooked the audience with your story, you move into the pain point. In this example, the pain point is clear. Free public Wi-Fi is dangerous, and most people don't realize their bank accounts could be at risk. After establishing that fear, you offer a solution. You don't have to give away everything for free, just enough to show the audience that a solution exists and that you have it. Then comes the call to action. Each step earns the next one. The audience is emotionally invested by the time they reach the CTA, so they're much more likely to take action. This brings us to a really powerful concept, the lead magnet. A lead magnet is something valuable you offer for free in exchange for your audience's contact information, like their email address or phone number. In the example, the lead magnet is a free PDF guide on Wi-Fi security. The instructor creates content around this topic, hooks the audience with a story, addresses their pain point, and then offers the PDF as the solution.
The audience clicks the link, fills out a form, or sends a message, and boom, their contact information is captured. This is how you build your email list organically, by giving people something genuinely useful in return for their details.
Once someone submits their email through your form or link, the process should be automatic. This is where Flowdesk comes in. As the instructor explains, you set up Flowdesk so that the moment someone sends their email or phone number, it's automatically captured and added to the right segment in your account. No manual work needed. The contact goes straight into the correct category. For example, a segment called Job-Oriented or Digital Marketing. From there, your pre-scheduled email sequence kicks in automatically. This is the power of email marketing automation. You do the setup once, and the system works for you around the clock.
Let's look at how segments work inside Flowdesk. A segment is basically a group of contacts organized by a specific category or interest. The instructor demonstrates creating a segment called Job-Oriented, meaning this group consists of people who are interested in job-related content. You can also create segments like Digital Marketing Master for people interested in digital marketing. The key idea here is that segmentation lets you send highly targeted emails. Instead of blasting the same message to everyone, you can tailor your content to exactly what each group cares about. To create a segment, you go to the Audience section, click Create Segment, give it a name that reflects your niche, and you're done. You can then upload your contact lists into the appropriate segment.
Now, here's a really practical tip for those who don't want to pay for a premium automation plan right away. The instructor shares a clever workaround. Instead of using automated triggers, you can manually schedule your emails in advance. You simply set the send later date for each email rather than hitting send now. This way, you can plan out a full 21-day, 30-day, or even 2-month email sequence all at once, and the emails will go out automatically on the dates you've set. It's not as dynamic as full automation, but it gets the job done without extra cost. You plan your content calendar, schedule each email to go out at the right time, and the system handles the delivery.
What kind of content should you actually be sending in your email sequence? The instructor outlines several types. First, you have promotional videos, short videos that showcase what you're offering. These are great for introducing a product or service. Second, graphics and visual content, well-designed images that are visually appealing and on-brand. Third, Reels or short videos. These are highly engaging and can be repurposed from your social media content. And fourth, behind-the-scenes content. This is where you show your audience what goes on behind the curtain. It builds authenticity and trust. Mixing these different content types across your email sequence keeps things fresh and interesting, which means fewer people unsubscribe and more people stay engaged with your brand.
Let's wrap up with a quick recap of everything covered in today's session. We started from the very beginning, creating an email marketing account, launching a campaign, and setting up a form. We tested how emails actually get delivered and looked at formatting. Then we dived deep into the content creation formula: hook, intro, pain point, solution, urgency, and call to action, and saw a real storytelling example of how to apply it. We also looked at how to create segments in Flowdesk to organize your audience, how to schedule emails without a premium plan, and what types of content to include in your email sequence. That's a lot of ground covered in one session. The most important thing now is to practice all of this hands-on. Don't just watch, actually go in and do it. And if anything is unclear, don't hesitate to ask questions. Let's close with the 5 big takeaways from everything we've covered. 1. Always use the content formula: hook, pain point, solution, and CTA. Make it a habit for every piece of content you create. 2. Story-based hooks with specific, real details are dramatically more effective than generic openers. Don't be vague, be specific. 3. Use lead magnets like free PDF guides to grow your email list. Give value first, and people will willingly share their contact information. 4. Segment your audience so you're always sending the right message to the right people. Relevance is everything in email marketing. And 5. You don't need to spend money on premium plans to get started. A well-planned, scheduled email sequence can be just as effective. Stay consistent, apply the formula, and you will see real results.